in your opinion, where are most people at currently with AI and automation?
A lot of businesses have started to work on the AI side of that question. They've got licenses for Copilot, or it might be ChatGPT, whatever they've decided to purchase. But it isn't really giving them any operational advantage. It may be saving a few minutes here and there, saving writing a formula in Excel, but it's not really streamlining any existing processes. That's where the automation side of it comes in, which a lot of businesses aren't really at with it yet. To be able to implement automation fully, you need to be able to understand what your processes actually are. Without that understanding, you don't know what you're automating. So the first stage of it is figuring out what your processes are. How do we actually want to work? Is how we're doing it now the best way of doing it? Once we've got that in place, we can then start looking at what tools we can put in to support that. It might be a framework to ensure that everybody's working to the same hymn sheet of getting those jobs done at the same time in the same way. It might be introducing AI tools to take the decisions that previously would be done in a very standard way, but done by individual humans, and pass it off to an AI agent where they can take those same parameters, those same options, and come out with an outcome, but it be instantaneous and not need to take somebody's time or effort.
I think to kind of reiterate what you're saying, I think for me to simplify that down is that people are using these tools personally. I don't think businesses know how to use these at an organizational level and put the structure and controls in around that. And I think probably the biggest thing that I see when I kind of go in is actually truly measuring an ROI off the back of it. So actually identifying a process and kind of going, from a business perspective, how much does it cost me to do this thing now? And how much does it cost me to do post AI? And what I see most of the time is people are playing with AI. They've seen some really cool things to do. They're using a bit of ChatGPT, they're using a bit of Copilot, but actually driving that kind of commercial aspect of kind of delivering a return. It may be doing it, but they don't know. They don't know if it's secure, and they don't necessarily just have those kind of organizational controls in place. That's
exactly that. Even the users that are using AI as sort of a power user and are getting benefit out of it, they are still just using it as a chatbot effectively. They're asking a question, getting an answer to help themselves. But there's aspects around AI that use the same base technologies, that semantic index, that understanding, to be able to look at documents, for example, a scan of a document that doesn't need to be in a standard format, and it's capable of inferring what the context of that content actually is to return that back. Timesheets are a really good example of that. It understands the range of the period, it understands what numbers are on there. So it takes what before would have been a very manual data entry heavy process of somebody having to look at it, review it, type it into a system. Whereas now, if we can automate that part of the journey, we can take the document, we can load it through the agent that's going to be handling that data, and it can automatically offload it to whatever system it needs to be stored in. So what used to be somebody's entire job can now be automated, streamlined, and that brings improvements not only in the time saving and the cost saving, but also in the quality and consistency of the data as well.
And I kind of take that, when I kind of go in and talk to business owners and at a board level, it's absolutely that. They know that they can be more efficient. They know there's these tools and technologies available to it. They just don't know how to get started. So the things that Jack's talking about is that we effectively go in, work with the leadership teams, work with business owners, and help them identify where those opportunities are. By talking to them and talking to their teams, we can identify all these types of processes and help them get started. So Jack.